Now, we are fresh off the back of the United States Grand Prix, where we picked up a 90 grand bonus. We also leveled up our fan rating and our sentiment, which gave us some extra fan bonuses, which is going to go a long way. Now, I can't lie, it was an insane episode, but we have some more things on the menu today, starting off with the Mexican Grand Prix.
Hey Chief, just a reminder to kick off some research projects. We don't want to fall behind our rivals, and we haven't got anything in the pipeline at the moment. Thanks.
Now we'll address what Matthias Hartmann is mentioning in just a bit. Guys, I have massive spoilers ahead. Absolutely huge. If you want to see exactly what happened last episode, go watch it. I really mean it. This episode changes the entire, storyline of this My Team career mode, and there's going to be a massive twist coming up in a bit, which I don't want you to see that until you see the previous episode. So go watch it. So much happened, especially just watch the first 15 minutes of the intro, all the upgrades, all the updates, all the changes, all the drivers, everything. Link in the top right, spoiler warning ahead, and yeah, I'm going to literally spoil the result in 3 seconds, guys. So go check it out. It was bonkers, and the result was also insane as well. Crazy race. But let's get into it. We arrive with a fresh winner's trophy in the cabinet. We won COTA as Nico Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg's first win in Formula 1 and our second win this season as a team after Colapinto won in Silverstone. And not just that, I mentioned before, lots of bombshells. We found out last episode Lewis Hamilton is retiring, and that's going to trigger a huge chain reaction in the driver market. As you know, we've got a new title sponsor, we've signed 2 new drivers for next season. There's so much going on. There's another massive project in the background, a collaboration I'm working on, and we have some more things to announce in this episode. Now, we've done activities, but we're going to move ahead to the next race.
Hey Chief, just a reminder to kick off some research projects. We don't want to fall behind our rivals, and we haven't got anything in the pipeline at the moment. Thanks.
Now, we arrive, first off, into engineering. We've received Durability Breakthrough Level 3, which is going to allow us to maximize our car performance. This was the last thing that we had pending. We're going to do the 3D printing, prototyping, and Level 3 out of 3 to basically reduce the time it takes to research upgrades by 35%. And with that out of the way, we can then move into development. And oh my God, we have a regulation change again, and this one is super late, and it affects the chassis and the powertrain. I mean, look at this. We have so many upgrades. We've basically got a maxed out car, guys. Our car is nearly there. So the chassis, for example, is completely maxed out. It's only the aero and I think the reliability, which lacks a couple of upgrades. So this is going to be huge. We only have 5 rounds left, or 4 after this, to get this protected. And there's one thing, you have to spend cash to protect upgrades, and we have an issue. We are burning through our cash rapidly. We just signed Carlos Sainz and Pierre Gasly for next season in the last episode with their big contracts, and we are now genuinely, I think, at risk of hitting the cost cap. We're burning through our cash, and we have to protect all these upgrades. If we do that, I think we're going to hit the cost cap. Now, I don't know how this is going to play out, guys. I genuinely don't know what is going to happen, and this is the latest bombshell. On top of the previous episode and everything that happened, this on top, we actually have to worry about the cost cap. Now, let's talk about things, because it's been a while since we've addressed this. Look at the R&D graph. Our recent upturn in performances have not been by chance. Our win in COTA wasn't by chance. Double points finish in Baku wasn't by chance. The car is improving. It has improved massively. And we're going to end the season here with the strongest the car's ever been. Near maxed out. So we could be in for some good results with both drivers to finish the season on a high and send Colapinto and Hülkenberg into the sunset on a decent note. So let's talk about a few things here and a few more updates. Now, we're going to start to mix things up. we have Mexico today, and I believe the next race is Brazil. So it's likely I'm actually going to race as COLAPINTO for the next 2 rounds, as that is basically the closest he's going to get to a home race in Argentina. But then I might drive as Hulkenberg for the remaining 3 rounds, as he's fighting for potentially a top 7 in the World Drivers' Championship. And you never know, if the car improves some more, Hamilton's retiring, we could even fight for a top 6. So the pattern of alternating drivers is actually going to change for the first time in the entire series, and we are going to take hold of each driver for multiple races. So let's see what happens. Anyway, as always, we're going to jump into the weekend's action and get things started, guys. So many updates. I'm so excited for next year as well. The livery is finished. I can't wait to show you exactly what's cooking up. But yeah, we're going to jump into practice and we're going to get these programs underway. Now, the time management was the first one, and we struggled. It was difficult. The pace was okay, just about, but the graph, the track was really tough on the tyres, and I couldn't keep them in. So I only just got a green score over the line. As we then jump into our race simulations, on our first lap, we encountered Jack Crawford, who just about got out of the way in a really awkward spot. And we've got another slow car ahead here who's going to get out of the way. Paul Laren, he does do a better job of moving aside. We do luckily just get that clean sector dev boost as well. Eventually we've got the race runs finished, and we finished our final lap. Job done, purple score. And then we tried the quali sim, but it was impossible, so I ended up actually just cruising. And the reason for that is because I want my medium time to be my best time from the session. So yeah, here is the data. So tyre wear pretty high, 1.2%. Fuel burn also pretty damn high as well. So this track is a bit of a burner on all fronts, which isn't great. I don't particularly love Mexico. It's not my best track. I don't enjoy it that much. So I'm not expecting a fun weekend. But either way, look at this. Practice finishes. Our soft time did actually register, even though we let go of the throttle and slowed right down. Hulkenberg in the top 5. So it's, again, kind of confirming that the pace is legit, which is really good. Hulkenberg scored points as an AI last time out in Baku. So I'm hoping that can be the norm moving forward. Anyway, practice finished. Let's get to qualifying here at Mexico.
This is a special place to go motor racing. We have the Fora Sol. The track is warming up nicely, and it is nearly time to set the grid for tomorrow's Grand Prix. What an atmosphere we have in Mexico City.
Into Q1 then, soft tyres on our car, and we are going to get stuck into a banker lap. Now we've got traffic again, and we've had a lot of blue flag issues this season, and Ocon just gets in the way. I mean, I invalidate because of the dirty air, so I gave him a little nudge, a little, you know, thanks for ruining my lap, pal. And I'm also making sure that if he does go for a lap, I'm basically ruining the start of it. But actually ended up boxing. I'm actually going to go against pitting and stay out, just because I want to have...
Side pods have taken damage. Suggest we box and fix it up.
I wanted to have the delta from the first 2 sectors, so a last minute call to basically stay out on track, cross line, and get that delta for the next lap. Now we had to repair damages, and that is basically going to mean we're going to go at the end of the session on the same tyres and try one single lap. To be fair, there should be no big danger, no big risk, unless we make a mistake. We've been out of Q1 every single time this season, myself when I'm driving, and the car has improved, so we're more likely than ever to make it out of the bottom 6. But we still have to get the lap done, and this is why I crossed the line on that previous lap to get the delta, because now we've got a reference to know if we're at least matching, you know, what we did before on the same tyres, and we know we're on a decent lap. And actually we're going a bit quicker already, half a second up on Jack Crawford in sector 1. A 10th up on that previous lap I was doing, so it's looking pretty tasty right now as we now head towards the heart of the middle sector, the S's. Checkered flag drops, so we need to make sure we just keep it tidy, all within track limits, and don't invalidate, because otherwise we're starting from the back and we're going to be in a bit of trouble. So second sector looks good, 10th and a half up, 1.2 up on Liam Lawson. Now into the Fora Sol Stadium, looking to close out the lap here. Under some pressure to get it done, we clean up our hairpin through the baseball stadium. A little bit oversteery on the way out, but job done. It's going to be a decent improvement. Are we into Q2? That's the big question. Over the line we go. I think it was a 112.6 and it's P6. So job done. Very nice lap, tidy lap, job done. So P6 for us, Hulkenberg P10, both cars in the top 10. You'd love to see it. Leclerc setting the tone, setting the pace out front. And the big one there is actually Paul Aron making it into Q2 in the V-Carb. Verstappen only in P8. Now, into Q2. Traffic, again, traffic paradise. This time, Oscar Piastri. The difference, though, I caught him just a little bit later. And actually, instead of Ocon, who was pitting, Piastri starting a lap. So he's actually getting on with it. Now, we're getting some dirty air. And as a result, we have a massive snap of oversteer. But we weren't held as badly. We do go second, actually, on a 112.2. So we go 0.4 quicker than our Q1 lap. But I wanted to go again because I know there's some time there, and this time we do get a clear track. You can see already we were up by about a 10th compared to the previous lap, and this time, without the traffic and a clean run, we find another couple of tenths, and we're going to close the lap out. Currently P3, and we stay there, but we improve into the 1 minute 11s, and that will do just fine. You can see we're sitting pretty right now. P3, huge gap to P4. Hulkenberg currently on the brink, and Verstappen is P10 on the bubble. So this could be pretty tasty. I expect Verstappen to move into Q3, but I watched the action and everyone went out and they were basically nose to tail. So Hulkenberg didn't improve, neither did Verstappen and many others, and there wasn't really much movement in the end. The AR went out in a block, which is an F124 feature, which I covered in yesterday's video when I revisited the game, of course, with the F125 cars. Link in the top right.
Okay, I hope you brought something good to read today. There's an issue with the fuel system. We don't think it's anything terminal, but it is going to take some time to investigate and repair, I'm afraid.
Now, into Q3, we did hit a little gremlin again on the reliability, but luckily it's not a major one. It just means we're going to only get 2 flying laps on a single lap. Because it's going to be a bit too tight to go for 2 flying laps on a single set of tyres, which was going to be the plan for this first run. So, yeah, not the worst thing in the world. Luckily, not a major issue. So we're going to get our lap in Q3 started. Now, we did a 111.8 in Q2. That's going to be the reference, the benchmark that we're aiming for in this one. So, Sector 1, first reference, we're a 10.5 up on Yuki Tsunoda in P6. We now feed the car through turn 4, turn 5, the left-right bit of oversteer, as we then feed it through the hairpin, trying to get the power down as we use a bit of battery, and then just really throw it in to these S's, really cut the inside curb, and just basically lean on all of these all the way through on the battery as we wait for the DRS as we race down towards the next right-hander. Middle sector, still up on Tsunoda, we lost a 10th, but still up as we now head into Sector 3, bump over the curb, open up this hairpin. I turned a little bit early, but all good. Over the second part of it, important to avoid that bollard. A little bit deep into the last corner as we then keep it tight to the right side. Over the line we go. And it's actually slower than Q2 on a 111.9. We're currently P6. We've got a 10.5 over Yuki, so we did go quicker compared to him the last sector. And I think P3 may be possible, but we're going to have to improve. So let's get into it. Final qualifying runs. Let's see what we do. I'll take it. P5, decent result. Honestly, the lap was excellent. There was one error and we ran a bit deep into the baseball stadium's hairpin. Just got it wrong. Overcooked it a little bit and that cost us P4. The top three were a bit too quick in a different conversation, all on 111.1s. By the way, look how close that is. But for us, we should have got P4 and we didn't quite get it. But still, decent pace. A bit gutted Hulkenberg wasn't there with us in Q3, but we saw what happened. Either way, again, the car's quick and it seems to be confirmed in qualifying. So we're now going to get to the race and see if the race pace correlates with the qualifying pace. It didn't look great in the practice sims, a lot of tyre wear, tyre overheating, but the hard tyres have been our saviour. So let's get into the race here at Mexico.
In the 60s, Mexico City would be the season-ending race. That's no longer the case, but it is always a party in these parts. Welcome to the Mexico City Grand Prix. We're 2,285 metres above sea level. That is one of the key details of this circuit. It tests the driver's fitness and their engine's efficiency. The other one is the atmosphere. An incredible crowd, a raucous crowd, and there's 30,000 of them waiting for the drivers at the end of this 2.6-mile lap in the Fora Sol. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Piastri, Franco Colapinto, and Hamilton, Tsunoda, Russell, Albon, and Nico Hulkenberg, Behrman, Gasly, Paul Aaron, and Stroll, Hadjar, Ocon, Pepe Marti, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Lawson, Doohan, Crawford, and Gabriel Bortoleto completes the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me is Anthony Davidson. Well, this is the most advanced sport anywhere on the planet. How's it changed since you were last racing?
The cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was about 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometers an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance, but because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
So here we go. It's time for Mexico. P5 on the grid. I think a podium could happen. I think. We'll see. Either way, I want to try and beat Piastri. And that is important, of course, for Hulkenberg. So P4, based off qualifying pace, is definitely the target. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping, a bit like in Kota, the race pace is strong, especially on the hard compound tyre. If we get to the hards and we're still in the race, we could have a very strong one here today. So it's going to be about surviving the mediums, especially when they start to overheat on the rears, which is pretty much guaranteed. So for strategy, one stop, medium hard. For the fuel, we're looking at 47.3 kg, which is 4 laps extra. That's exactly what we have based off the practice simulations. No rain forecast today, so we're ready to go. We're going to jump straight in and see what happens and hopefully get a big result with Franco. Right, here we go. Lining up on the grid, we've got good tyre temp. Everybody on mediums. Looks like the strategy is going to be medium hard for pretty much everyone, so not expecting any real strategy change or variables from anybody. We're going to get this car lined up and get ready for this one. I'm going to put the bars in 55 to try and manage the rear tyres a bit. But here we go. This is going to be critical. Let's get to work. Showtime. Lights on. Mexico. Good start. Really good reaction from Piastri off the line. We get the jump in the first phase. Second phase, we start to fall back. Down towards turn 1, Hamilton goes to our right. Trying to find the line that's going to work for us as we go the long way around. Piastri's going to just cut us off, so Hamilton's still there on the inside. I've got to leave room. But we do hold on. So P5, no loss, no gain. I'll do just fine. Got some 2 wide up ahead. Norris and Leclerc, by the look of it. Oh, slight damage, I think. It might be very minor. We'll see how the car holds up, but we did just hit the back of Piastri there. I had a bit of hesitation trying to go down the inside. I didn't really get alongside enough, so I backed out, but we'll see if that damage is serious. I know it's going to affect our pace. For now, though, no change. Still P5. Decent opener, but that's only half the battle. Staying within DRS is going to be the other half of the battle, so we need a good second lap here. And I want to see what exactly our pace is with this damage once things open up. Right, straight line speed test. Here we go. This is what I want to see. The AI are so good off the last corner.
We can now use DRS. DRS now available.
Luckily, we're going to have plenty of battery, and we're actually going to challenge Piastri here, so I'm going to commit. Hamilton's going all in. They're battling ahead as well. Around the outside, off Piastri. Gave him the squeeze into the apex, but we're through. Into P4. Norris getting away out front. Verstappen moving up on Leclerc. Right, let's see if we can try and get back to this top three and see what our pace is, especially in this middle sector. These three are going to be so quick. They've been so quick all weekend. If we can hang with these three, we could be in the money. At the minute, it's looking okay. Gap's just gone over a second. I lost a bit too much through the S's. So unfortunately, we are going to get probably re-overtaken here by Oscar. Already the pace from the top three is too strong. So we'll just try and look to slot in behind Oscar and not lose out to Hamilton, who is actually battling with George Russell, who's now getting in the mix. So let's see, let's try and swim with the Sharks. But again, P4 is looking like the objective in this one. Interestingly, Piastri is purple, but we've actually dropped Hamilton and Russell. I didn't even realise they battled so hard on that one, they lost so much time. So let's see if we can try and solidify and lock in this P4, P5 with Oscar. Hopefully he can drag us along. At the minute, their acceleration is really good, so I'm struggling to challenge on the straights. 14-0, that's insane. Really strong pace from Verstappen. I'm flat out right now. With DRS, we're only getting...
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
We're only getting a 15-2. So yeah, we're nowhere near the pace right now. Simple as that. Ooh. First signs of rear tyre overheating. I don't have to look to know that that's what it is. Ooh, that might just cost me DRS. Really struggling on the rears now. Let's see. Wow, still held on. That was very close. Russell and Hamilton have just kept battling over the stint, and they're now 4 seconds adrift. We are still sticking with Oscar here, but I am using a bit more battery these last few laps. I'm really starting to struggle. The rears are killing me right now. The AI do not suffer with overheating like we do. It's not even close. They just don't have it, so they can just push flat out, but we are suffering here. Also, they have traction control, so they just basically are destroying me on corner exits right now. So we just have to hold on. I think the hard tyre will be excellent. We won't overheat on the hard. It will be a very good race tyre for us. Oh, that was a horrible exit. Might have to just accept defeat at some point. We are close to the pit window. Lap 16 will be our box lap. There we go. We're gone. Elastic snapped. Piastri drops us. So we're now just going to try and survive and hang on until the pits. Hopefully Russell doesn't drag Hamilton and co back here. Leclerc and Norris have had a huge scrap throughout this lap and lost a chunk of time. So P2 isn't that far. Verstappen's now gone and looks like he's going to win this race. So let's try and hang in there. Tsunoda, Russell, swap. Tsunoda's looking quite quick. This is the pit stop lap. It's a lap earlier than I thought, which is perfect because we're going to basically box as they arrive. Tyre wear icon is on right now. Tsunoda's going to have the DRS down just straight, so he's going to be very quick. And he'll be on the back of us by the end of the lap. But we're going to get off these tyres finally. Just got to tackle this middle sector. Tsunoda's right there with Russell and Hamilton. So at the minute we've kind of drifted to a battle to P5. We've lost a lot of ground to Piastri in the last couple of laps. In we go though. Finally we get off this tyre. What a relief. Right. Interestingly, no one seems to be pitting. Could that AI be going medium soft? I'll be very surprised. If they do, this is our chance to strike. We need to make this hard tyre work, and I think I can stay competitive throughout the entire stint 2.5. We're going to rejoin a nice bit of clean air here, right behind Albon, ahead of Behrman, which is great.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Behrman actually stops, so we're going to be comfortable P11. Right, let's get back to it then. This tyre should not overheat, and we can basically drive to our pace for the entire stint. So I don't think we'll be much quicker, but we'll be a lot more consistent, especially at the end of the stint without the overheating issue. So our pace on average should be stronger. But let's see if anyone pits this lap. Right, everyone's in, leaders are in. This is it. Let's see. Busy pit lane.
Okay, Nico's into the pits. Nico in the pits.
Right, Russell's behind us. That's good. Actually, he's behind us by quite a bit, so I think George may have got held. Piastri and Co rejoined well ahead, so we didn't get much of an undercut. Not entirely surprised. Again, they weren't really suffering with their tyres as badly as I was, so let's do our race. Now in Austin, we actually had legit pace on the hards to catch the faster cars, so a little bit of battling between, you know, the likes of Piastri, Norris, Leclerc wouldn't go to miss. Norris has stayed out for an extra lap, so he'll be in this one. We'll see where he rejoins, but a bit of battling could just bring us into play. Right, Antonelli's in, Hamilton's in, Norris is in as well. He's already rejoined and actually is ahead of Leclerc and Piastri, who are now battling, so let's see what happens. Tsunoda's also behind, lost a chunk of time, potentially a slow stop for him and Russell, considering how much time they've lost. But that's fine, I welcome it. Hopefully those two will scrap and won't catch us up, but again, I'm more confident in my pace on this stint, so let's see if I can make it happen. 15.5 followed by a 15.6. That's our pace right now. I am trying to charge a little bit and build my battery, which is really difficult. Losing a bit of time to Russell, losing quite a bit to the cars ahead. So, point blank, I've now realised I don't have the pace. Right, they're battling ahead. Also going through lap traffic. Tsunoda has passed Russell and has dropped him, so Tsunoda's flying as well.
Okay, safety car deployed. Safety car's been deployed. Watch your delta. Make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack.
Oh my god, Leclerc's got 10 seconds. We've got... Oof, do we box? I've got a relatively cheap stop here. I could take this and rejoin behind Hamilton in P8 on a fresh medium. I might take this, you know, and try something different.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Right, here we go. We're not racing no one, so no risk in the pits, to be fair. Piastri's in, and so is Leclerc. So maybe they collided. They were going through lap traffic. I'll have to watch and see what happened. But this is massive for us. We've got a shot to try something here. 2.5, good stop. We're out ahead of Leclerc. I'm guessing is serving damage repairs. It's going to be close. Antonelli going by. Can we get him? Did we get him? Oh, we're just behind. Oh, I don't believe it. That was so close. Right. Well, we've got a curveball now. We know this tyre overheats, but to be fair, we've got a safety car phase to get through. It'll be quite a long one. We'll be going racing start of lap 27. Lighter car. I'll try and burn some fuel off, and we'll see if we can make a push on these tyres at the end to try and get a few positions. We've done it before on the restart lap that I have been very passive, so we might be able to strike and make a few moves. I think we may end up getting an extra lap of safety car here. I've been cruising very slowly up to the back of the queue to try and not wear my tyres. We have a lot of lapped traffic in this queue, which is going to cause chaos. That could be good for us or bad for us, but Piastri's right there. For Hulkenberg, we're looking to try and nerf Piastri, so on this restart, we have to try and get him. He's on the same strategy as us. He'll be quick, he'll be aggressive, he'll be likely opening gaps for us in the pack, but we've got to be efficient, aggressive, and convincing passing this lap traffic. Right, safety car in. We've got enough tyre temp to make this work. So let's get to it. Trying not to take too much out of the tyres. Restart will be key. So we have to be right there on the back of everyone to make this work. To be fair, I forgot about our wing damage. I could have tried to have got that repaired in the pits if we do have any, but away we go. Full commitment now. Everyone is on the battery. Marty's going to be the first car.
Green flag.
Oh my god. Piastri, Antonelli. Down the inside on the pair. It's a massive lunge. And it's a great lunge. What a move. Right, Bortoletto, move Sunshine. Thank you. Thank you very much. More lap traffic on the way. Doohan gets back on the racing line at the wrong time, but luckily we managed to go on the outside. Paul Aaron causing a bit of chaos. Hamilton slow off the corner. Fresh tyres. Paying dividends, P5.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
Medium tyre gamble, well worth taking. We're back with Russell and Soda, but now battling for a podium, and we're ahead of Piastri. Leclerc, Max will probably get away, so P3 is going to be our fight today. There's Oscar, reappearing. Right, let's keep pushing here. We've still got the advantage. These tyres are still good for a bit. Got a bit more lap traffic to get through. Look at the grip we have through the Foro Sol. Got a few yellows behind. I'm literally pushing Russell through. No contact, but you think I was pushing him. Here we go.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
Using battery here. Going to try and make this pass without DRS. Going to go to the outside and just have the wider line. Got a lapped car, which might cause chaos. Jack Crawford. Just going to swing around and get him before turn 2. Right. That's cost Russell massively, so let's just focus on Tsunoda here. Leclerc's way down the order, so it's actually Norris who's P2, my bad. Let's try and get this podium. Come on. Yellow behind. I'm guessing it's lap traffic. But they're causing absolute chaos. I just hope Hulkenberg is getting through clear and clean without any trouble for him. He can have a good race and a good result, hopefully. Wow, Leclerc's out. That looks like a mechanical though. That's different. No safety car though. Right, here's the moment. I'm going to just not even delay it. I'm just going to go for it straight away. If I can pass and drop Tsunoda, that's perfect. I'm going to try not to use too much battery on this straight and save the rest for pushing once we're in front. Here we go. We've got the run. Got the overspeed. Easy pass.
Caution, caution.
Just before the yellows. And now DRS in this next zone, we're going to just basically now push like crazy and pull the pin. Maybe, just maybe, even get within Lando's DRS. Oh, a bit of oversteer. Didn't quite get there. Didn't get Lando's DRS, but we have dropped Tsunoda. I'm going to try though and get Lando's DRS. I've still got some battery left in the tank, so I'm going to try and use it to close in. Piastri's flying. Just got to try and finish ahead of him, really. That's all we can hope for. Rear's already overheating, but we're here. We've got DRS on Lando, so potentially we can try and nab a P2 in this one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Through we go. Thank you very much. I was just getting an update on Hulkenberg.
Okay, clear.
Away we go. I was just charging up to full capacity to charge and attack Lando on that next straight, but all good. We're gone. And that is P2. There goes Oscar. There's going to be no challenge from Yuki, so we've got to keep pushing. He'll have DRS on the next straight as well, so it's now going to be just a flat-out time trial battle. Track limit. Bit too much of a corner cut there. Piastri does not have the DRS though. I just kept him out of range. That was huge. On to the last lap then. Nearly there. Nearly there. Piastri's going to push. They use their battery on the last lap quite a bit. We've got this covered. Although he really is pushing. Look at that. He's catching like crazy. I don't think he has DRS. Going to need a good exit here just to make sure we lock this in. Once we get through this straight, we should be home and dry. Good exit. Still got some tyres left. I don't think he has the DRS, but he's closing like crazy. But it's not enough. Now we manage. Now we manage. Oscar's right there. 2/10. We're going to use every last bit of the battery. Doesn't even get alongside, so we'll take the racing line back. Confetti goes up. Verstappen's going to win. And we're going to come through for a huge second place. There may be no Argentinian Grand Prix, but my God, we put on a show for the fans today. Job done. P2, we'll take it.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level at the very top is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. A sensational drive once again. Max Verstappen takes the checkered flag.
Well, another race victory today, and you can clearly see they're starting to believe in themselves more and more. You get to a stage where you become very hard to beat as a driver when you keep putting in performances like this one.
Plenty to get stuck into afterwards, but now the podium for our top 3 drivers. Well, we've seen this one before. Max Verstappen on the top step once again.
Wow, look at this. It's a double celebration because Hulkenberg has finished P7. P7. That is the best result from our AI teammate. We are cooking at the end of this season, guys, and could this be the springboard for Season 3? Could it be? With the regulation change, we have a massive opportunity now to really make a splash heading into the new season. Anyway, Verstappen won. Colapinto second, Piastri third. He was so quick today, but we did magic. Great strategy, and that dive bomb into turn 1 to get Piastri and Antonelli on the restart was critical. Absolutely critical. We cleared the traffic first, we cleared all the slower cars first, we got through, and we get that huge result. Verstappen is your new World Drivers' Champion, and is now a 6-time Formula 1 World Drivers' Champion. Absolutely insane. But yeah, we'll take it, guys. What a phenomenal day in the office, and big points for us here today. So, standings. Verstappen now mathematically is your champion. Hulkenberg, damage limitation to Piastri, and actually matches or loses very marginally to Antonelli, so it keeps the hope alive. Colapinto now firmly P10. Hopefully we can get to the 100-point mark with him. Constructors, you can see we're actually just starting to close in on McLaren a little bit. It's not a lot, but that Norris DNF helped quite a bit. Now, I think in principle I'll race as Franco again next race, the South American doubleheader, as it is near to Argentina for Franco, and then we'll take over the Hulkenberg and we'll try and fight for what we can in the closing stages of the season. I think that's going to be the game plan. So guys, if you enjoyed, smash the like button, subscribe for more. On screen, you're watching the fallout from that one, which I'm sure will be pretty decent. Both cars in the points, one on the podium. I'm sure there'll be no negative feedback. If there is, I don't understand why. But guys, cheers for watching. A massive shout out to the channel members. Check out the 2 videos on screen. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and that's goodbye from me. Ciao, ciao.